So we're here to discuss a whole bunch of Descendants secrets. Secret number one, Dizzy. So Dizzy happens to be the daughter of Lady Tremaine, and her sisters are Anastasia and Drizella. So Lady Tremaine owns a store on the island called Lady Tremaine's Hair Salon, actually. And as we all see here, we're introduced to the little character's Mal. So Mal happens to change up her gown a little bit. Her mouse hair is really different. Her hair is blonde, and you can see all the purple tips. Another secret. So when Mal asks if Dizzy could do her hair for her, there's a old thing here. So Dizzy does Mal's hair, dumps it in a bunch of water, and you can see the purple hair from the old movie, Disney's Descendants. Secret number two, Uma. So here, Uma, we are currently stated that Uma happens to be the daughter of Ursula because during the movie we get to see the tentacles of an octopus, which means that Ursula happens to be her daughter, basically. So, another one in Disney's Descendants 2. Disney's Descendants 2 happens to start off during a feeling that this happens to be a during the Descendants Wicked World. We're not so sure. But we're here currently see that Harry Hook has happens to be pushing Ben over the plank. So Mal and Uma are basically singing because Uma wants to come off the Isle of the Lost so she can join Oridon Prep. And either way for that to happen, Mal has to give them the magic wand. Either way for Ben to be free. If not, Ben's gonna get thrown over the boat and into the water and sink forever. So here we see that one other thing too is that Jay and Carlos have to 3D print a fake wand so that they can get them off the island and into the water. Another secret right here. So here this currently states this is Harry Hook. His dad happens to be Captain Hook from Jake's Pirates and Captain Hook the movie and Peter Pan. And this basically happens to be funny because we don't really see Harry Hook in we don't basically see Captain Hook in the Disney Descendants movie, and we don't really see Gaston in the Descendants movies. Another thing, Descendants 3 shown us to a different variety of villains. Mal's dad happens to be Hades from Hercules. And what that basically happens is Mal basically finds out that her mom was married to Hades, and Hades abandoned her when she was a baby. So Hades currently states that he left Maleficent because Maleficent states that she does not happen to be the easiest person to get along with. So here we're here introduced to another character. We go way back to the Descendants. So there's this person here named Audrey, and we currently states that her mom happens to be Aurora from Sleeping Beauty. And her grandma happens to be Queen Leah. Queen Leah happens to be another secret because when Queen Leah first meets Mal, Mal stares at her in an entirely scary way, which leads to that Queen Leah currently states that she's very upset that Ben invited the VKs down to Oridon Prep because Queen Leah personally states that her mother actually was really upset because of Mal's mom's curse, Maleficent. So, guys, this is Descendants 3. So, in Descendants 3, Audrey returns back to Oridon, and she happens to be very mad because Mal cast a spell on her boyfriend Ben. And Ben happens to be in love with her, and they got married. So, Audrey's sitting back at home, upset, crying, writing in her diary. She goes back to the museum, turns off all the cameras, and she goes and smashes the glass to the queen's crown, and she takes Maleficent's scepter and goes around Oridon, putting everyone to sleep, turning everybody to stone, because she wants what she deserves and she wants to rule the world. So could that basically state that if Fairy Godmother would have gotten to her magic wand, would that basically mean that Fairy Godmother would send Audrey to the Isle of the Lost? Another one. Right here, we see Jane. So we go way back to this in this movie. Jane's mom happens to be the fairy godmother from Snow White. No, not from Snow White. Hold on. From Cinderella. And what happens is that she starts going to the water because Audrey has sleeping powder that can lead to throwing people to sleep. So she goes underneath the water and Audrey disappears. So Ben calls her and Ben's on his way to the party and Jane says, "No, no, no, Ben. Now stay where you are. Now Audrey has the scepter and she put everyone to sleep. I'm gonna call Mom to tell her to get her wand." That's what that's what Jane basically says, and that causes to a huge, huge compliment that where was all the parents from Descendants and where were they all in Descendants on Wicked World and why weren't they in the series like they should have been? Well, there's a secret to that. Secret to that is that either way they were not drawn supposed to be for all the for Descendants Wicked World. It was matter of fact, it was just supposed to be the kids. We did not see any of the parents. Another secret, the opening scene. So if we go back to go to the Descendants movie, we can see here's a picture of Magic Kingdom from Disney World. That's another secret. Let's keep going.
20 years ago, Belle married her beast in front of 6,000 of their closest personal friends. Big cake. Yeah, so instead of a honeymoon, Beast united all of the kingdoms and
So basically what happens is Beast happens to unite all the kingdoms. So all the kingdoms we see happen to be all of the kingdoms that all the villains were ruling when they were in the revenge days. So basically, yeah, what happens was that Beast happened to round up all the villains and all the evil psychics, and he booted them off to the island of the Lost, which means states that no Wi-Fi, no magic, no way in, no way out. Here's we get to see Ben's parents, Beast and Belle. So Ben happens to be his dad happens to be Beast and Belle. And Ben decides to make his choice to let the kids have a final choice of coming off the Isle of the Lost. And when he does that, he introduces the name Evil Queen, Jafar, Cruella de Vil, and Maleficent. And Beast basically says that Maleficent happens to be the evilest villain in the land, and he will not let them come off. And after that, they started getting an invitation to Ordon Prep. And at the end of the movie, they basically say that they choose good. They don't want to steal the wand anymore because they know that it's wrong. And that all leads off to Jane. Jane happens to be another secret. Bye, guys.